Are you ready to see the food that I have going into the freeze dryer today? Hot dogs and hamburgers. What? I have always wondered how hot dogs and burger patties would hold up in the freeze drying process. If these turn out well, it will be an amazing addition to my food storage because hot dogs and hamburgers are things that my kids will always eat and love and enjoy. It's another way to get protein in them. If we are in a survival type of situation, it's nice to have proteins preserved on your food storage shelves, especially ones that your kids will eat. My other thought process behind freeze drying the hot dogs and hamburgers is that we plan on doing a lot of camping this summer. And if I can bring freeze-dried hot dogs and hamburgers, rehydrate them at the campsite and be able to cook them there, that would be so convenient because once things are freeze-dried, they weigh hardly anything and I won't be wasting valuable space in coolers trying to keep fresh meats cold and things like that. So I think this could be awesome if they turn out good. On my trays, I am using my silicone tray liners that I just get from Amazon. They are fairly inexpensive and they do a good job to just have a mat on top of your tray. It helps protect your trays and it helps your food not stick to the trays. I love using the silicone liners when I am doing like foods and meals and stuff. You can also use parchment paper. That's also a great alternative. Especially when you're doing candy, you want to use parchment paper. If you're freeze drying on silicone with candy, it doesn't always turn out the best. So there's a little tip about that. I am going to do, I think, just one tray of hamburgers, only because I'm not quite sure how these are gonna turn out. And I don't want to waste my precious hamburger meat if it's not gonna work. So I think I'm gonna do 3 patties on one tray and the rest will be hot dogs. If you're wondering what type of burgers we like to buy, these are from Costco. They're the grass-fed beef patties. This is all we buy when it comes to hamburger patties. They are so good, and I love that they're grass-fed. So those are the hamburgers, and I also got the Costco hot dogs because they're a good price, good quality, and kids love them. Okay, well, I don't believe in wasting space in the freeze dryer. So I had 2 more burger patties left in that particular package, so I stuck them on this tray. Got my hot dogs here and my 3 patties on this side. Let's get these downstairs to the freeze dryer and I will show you all of our settings and stuff like that. Oh, do you want to see what I have on my stove over here? Besides freeze drying, this is my other favorite hobby that I do when it comes to kitchen and food, but sourdough bread. Are you guys sourdough people? Let me know. It is my favorite food, I think, in the world. I'm obsessed. It's the only bread I like to eat. I love making it. It's very therapeutic. It is a very long process for making sourdough bread, but it is so worth it. If you'd ever be interested in a sourdough video, I'd be happy to film one for you guys. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I know it's not freeze drying per se, but it's the best. Here at my freeze dryer, let's take a look at the settings. I'm gonna go into customize. I'm just hitting reset. I am going to increase my extra freeze time by 2, I'm gonna make it 2 hours just because my beef patties are pre-frozen, my hot dogs have kind of thawed, and I would just like to ensure that they get fully frozen in this freeze dryer. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm leaving my dry temp at 125. My dry time, my extra dry time, I like to increase to 7 hours, and I do that because if it happens to finish in the middle of the night or something, it will just keep drying the food. You usually need more dry time anyway than what the machine senses on its own. So that will just ensure that it'll keep drying if it ends in the middle of the night. Then we're just hitting save and start, and we wait our 15-minute cool down. I am gonna go take my tray lids upstairs so that I can easily transport my trays back down to my freeze drying basement. I get these tray lids directly from Harvest Right. I will have the Harvest Right link in the video description below. If you want to get yourself some tray lids, they're really nice because they already fit perfectly to your trays, and you can stack them up like so for easy transportation and for sticking in the freezer for if you're pre-freezing things. I really love these. Spring break is coming up next week for my kids. We are off of school. Do you have any fun spring break plans? We have family coming into town and I am so excited. My mom is coming and bringing some surprise family members for my kids. It's time to load up my trays. I now am just going to close my drain valve. And I hit continue. And we're good to go. I will let you know how long these take in my freeze dryer. I am sure it will take over 24 hours. We will see. And then I am going to reconstitute them. If this turns out great, it's gonna totally change our camping game. And it's great. My food has been in my machine for 25 hours. It has sensed that it is finished. I want to show you how to do a simple weigh test to see if your food is really fully freeze dried. We just need to stop the machine, and you can do that by pressing the little leaf in the corner. I'm just gonna open my drain valve. Okay, I need two hands. And I am gonna just pull out my tray. Oh my gosh, look at these hot dogs. I have it on my food scale. Okay, I can't really read that very well. 914 grams. Remember that. I am also gonna weigh a burger tray, 787. Then I got my trays back in. I am just gonna select more dry time. Close my drain valve. Continue. And in 1 hour, I'm gonna come back and re-weigh my food. If in 1 hour there is no change in weight, then you know the machine has removed all of the moisture that it's going to remove from the food. If your weight is changing still, it's still pulling out moisture and it needs more dry time. So we'll check back in an hour and see how we're looking. I wanna run you outside and just show you how beautiful it is. You know me, I'm always liking to show you how our weather is doing in Alaska. But I mean, it is sunny and like not freezing today, so that's amazing. All of the sun definitely causes a lot of the snow to melt. You can see our street. Oh, and let me show you some evidence of an animal who came to give us a visit the other day. Can anyone tell me what kind of animal poo that is? Give me your guesses down in the comments and I will let you know if you're right. And our neighbor's dogs. Hey puppies. We are in our first day of spring break. The kids are off of school today and they're off playing with friends and it's so nice. I am just enjoying this sunshine. How's the weather where you guys are? Is it still winter or are you enjoying beautiful spring? My family in Arizona is enjoying beautiful spring. So after the weigh test, my hot dogs weighed the same, no change in weight, so those were finished. My burger patties did change by 3 grams, so I pulled out my hot dogs, but I left my burgers in the freeze dryer. I'm gonna let them go for a couple more hours and see how we are looking. But here are how my hot dogs look. Kinda weird. Now, I realize that hot dogs are a very greasy food, and these have a lot of grease on them. So I definitely do not think these are good for long-term food storage. Just because that grease and oil can spoil. I am still gonna reconstitute them and see how they look when we add water back to them. And I am gonna package them up in Mylar bags as oxygen absorbers and just see kind of how they do. I think in a future video, I will pull out these hot dogs out of my Mylar bags and just see if they look like they are holding up or if they just seem kind of icky. But I am not thinking these are going to be good for long-term storage. I am labeling my bag now because if you've been watching my channel, when I did my freeze-dried food clean out, I had a few mystery bags. So I am labeling it now. Hot dogs. I've got 2 hot dogs set aside that I am going to use for reconstituting. Once my hamburgers are done, we will do our big reconstituting taste test and see how they actually turn out. The burgers are looking great though. I think those are gonna be perfect. I did my second weigh test and the burgers' weight did not change, so they are fully freeze dried. Here is how they are looking. They are just so light. All of the moisture has been removed. And they are ready for packaging. I'm gonna pack up 4 of them into one of my Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and we're gonna save out one to do our taste test. Did you guys catch my mess up on my hot dog bag? I wrote 2023. It is definitely the year 2024. Still can't get used to it. But I caught myself when I was writing on my hamburger bag that it's 2024. So here's my 2 bags for my food storage. Again, these I think are gonna be fine and hold up just fine in my food storage. The hot dogs, I'm not so sure. I'm thinking in like a month or 2 to bust these open and just see how they look. I'm just not thinking that grease is gonna be a good thing. But let's go try to rehydrate this and the hot dogs and see how they turn out. This I'm excited about. Okay, I'm back home. It's been a busy evening around here. I've got my baggie with my hamburger patty and my hot dogs. So I have 2 dishes right here of water. I'm gonna submerge these into the 2 dishes. I'm gonna leave them for about 15 minutes and see if that's enough time for them to fully rehydrate. For the hamburger patty at least, I'll probably flip it over a few times during the 15 minutes just so that it evenly gets coated with water. So let's do that and I will come back and see how it's looking. All right, it's been about 15 minutes and I just want to show you how these look. The hot dog is still like super hard and it does not seem appetizing at all. I'm just gonna say no to the hot dogs, okay? If you have freeze-dried hot dogs and they worked for you, tell me, but I am just gonna put hot dogs on my don't freeze-dry list for myself. Okay, the hamburger patty. It is fully reconstituted. It is completely moist. As I'm pulling it up, it's kind of falling apart just because it's been sitting in the water. But this feels like raw beef, which is what it is. It is soft, it is moist, everyone's favorite word. And you could cook this up and eat it. I'm making a mess. This worked awesome. I am definitely keeping hamburgers on my freeze drying good list, okay? If you got any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Happy to chat with you there. If you are wanting to purchase a freeze dryer, I always have my affiliate link with Harvest Strike down in the video description below. If you purchase a freeze dryer from my affiliate link, I want to send you a little thank you goodie. I have this cute magnet. I don't have it on me right now that I had made that says I'd freeze dry that. I'm obsessed with it. I will send that to you with some other little goodies as a thank you for supporting me here on my DIY freeze dry channel. All you have to do to claim your magnet is send me an email to this email address here. It will also be listed in the video description. Just tell me your name, mailing address, and the date you purchased your freeze dryer. I can just verify that the purchase was made and I will send it to you as a thank you for being wonderful. If you are gearing up for a week at home with your kids with spring break coming up, enjoy it, have so much fun. If you are traveling, tell me where you're going. I would love to hear. As I said before, we're not traveling, but we have family coming to visit. Super stoked about that. So, with all of that said, I will catch you all on the next freeze drying adventure, and if we do anything exciting during spring break, I will take some footage and share it with you guys, because Alaska spring break is a little different than most other places spring break, because we are still chilly, covered in snow, but we're getting so close to summer and I can't wait. Okay, bye.